Supreme Court justice dies or if a president suddenly dies. And you really ask that question if the first report out of ABC News affiliate in South Texas in a tiny town and then repeated by the ABC News affiliate in San Antonio, Texas, just south of where I'm broadcasting from right now, the first reports come out and say he has died and it does not appear to be foul play. No more information. That is unprecedented when you study assassinations. That is what they do. When there is a normal death, it says, well, the coroner's report will come out. We're not sure, but he was 79. But you don't say, appeared to be natural. Same thing happened with Breitbart. And so many times with political assassinations and Arkancides that we saw in Arkansas with the Clintons and their medical examiner, where people would have arms and legs chopped off, dozens of bullet wounds found in garbage bags, chopped up, and they would say they killed themselves. Or the CIA, the author that exposed the CIA, the journalist Gary Webb, who shot himself twice in the head. I talked to him weeks before, and he said he was having to move because people were breaking in his house. And of course, Kill the Messenger came out and basically shows how they murdered him. So they've killed so many people. They've done so much. Why wouldn't they get rid of this key conservative Supreme Court justice who was holding back the gun bans, the carbon taxes, the open borders? I mean, you name it. He was probably the only person on there that couldn't be blackmailed. You notice that Roberts was against Obamacare and then suddenly switched for it. And Alito and the rest of them. And now they have been appointing people that are beyond Rachel Maddow in their tyranny, their socialism, their incredible rulings, like Sotomayor and Kagan, with just almost no experience. But the rulings they did have on low-level benches were just right out of North Korea. And now, this is the key. Ruth Bader Ginsburg has been rumored to be preparing to step down so that Obama can have the nominee before he leaves. She's been holding on. She was appointed in '93 by Bill Clinton. That will give them not one new appointee, but two. That's why out of the gates, Mitch McConnell and others came out and did the right thing and said, we're going to block this completely. And we saw Clinton and others and the Democrats sit there and try to block Republican judges as well. And we've seen Democratic presidents block in their last year what the Republicans are up to. So it's gone both ways here. The issue is, though, it is a 5-4 split on these issues now that Scalia is gone. And they put in who Obama wants. They now can win and get every decision the way they want it. So the Republican House and the Republican Senate, absolutely under the Constitution, have the right and the duty under the separation of powers clause that when things are out of control on a court, to block someone being confirmed to it to stop a takeover. That's why they control the confirmation process. And they're saying, hey, we're waiting until the election in 8 months. We're not letting you do this right now, and then we'll have a battle later. And that is absolutely what needs to happen. The centralization of power in the executive and the Supreme Court more and more trying to go with executive power and totalitarianism is so frightening. And again, we've seen the Democrats in the House and Senate when Bush was trying to appoint someone, blocking them in his last year. So the precedent's there, but watching the Democrats, they're saying, oh, it's unconstitutional, you can't do this, you can't do that. So this is a big, big deal right now. So let me go ahead and show folks this photo here, and for radio listeners, we'll break it down. Here is the Supreme Court justice that died yesterday, Antonin Scalia, the most conservative member of the court, not perfect, but way better than Sotomayor or Kagan or Ruth Bader Ginsburg or any of these other people. And the only other person that was decent on the court is Clarence Thomas. And this guy has been warning of the tyranny in this country. And I also wish I could tell you the inside baseball I know from folks that know members of the Supreme Court, but I'm just going to leave it at that and tell you that obviously one of the conservative justices told Matt Drudge last year at dinner, they've told us in 2016 they're coming after the Second Amendment, free speech, basically everything, and that nothing can stop it because they're going to have more justices in. But then they were doing the math saying, but if we stay in, you won't have the justices. Oh, but Ginsburg's going to leave. Well, she still votes liberal or socialist or command and control. So what are you going to do now? What are you going to do? Oh, Scalia dies. And oh, he's 79. Oh, yeah, maybe he did die of natural causes. But then they tell you right away, no foul play, don't investigate, nothing to see here. That's the big telltale sign. Buckley, how far are we into this transmission?
5, 6 minutes.
Good, because I'm going to throw it at break and come back with a special report I taped last night on the fall of Western civilization, the global collapse that's financially accelerating and now being admitted, and a lot more. And then David Knight's coming up live. But I want to continue here with this information. Scalia is dead. Now they're going to be able to put in their globalist, their operative, their totalitarian under left cover with their leering totalitarianism. And then Ginsburg's leaving. They'll get their other person in. Boom, a total takeover of the court. They will be able to reverse everything. Hey, I wonder if Clarence Thomas, he's old too. I wonder if he just dies of a heart attack, in a week or two, or maybe in a car wreck, gets run over. We'll just be told instantly when it's announced, no foul play. In fact, they don't say no foul play. That would make you think. Just nothing to see here. Appears to be completely natural. Everything's fine. With all the other rigging and corruption, the government funding Al-Qaeda and ordering stand-downs at Benghazi and all the rigging of the stock market, all of it admitted now, and saying, doesn't matter if Bernie Sanders wins the popular vote, Hillary has the delegates, just all of it in our face now. Now, let's go over the rest of these articles. Again, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, folks, appointed in 93. Look for that by Clinton, and look for them to try now if she steps down to bring somebody else in. But they don't even need her. Now that Scalia has died, we must block even bringing forward the nomination and then even having the congressional hearings for the confirmation. Just don't even allow the hearings for the confirmation. Completely, absolutely block it. This is the report that's coming up. Global ruin is coming unless we stop it. That's coming up in the next segment. We have this report I shot last night. Supreme Court Justice Scalia dead. Is Clarence Thomas next? They're already indicting all these Republican governors and Republican filmmakers and conservative libertarians. They're already indicted the Texas Attorney General that's suing Obama over abortion, open borders, and gun control. I mean, they're already engaged in a huge political war on every single front. So why would we not question? Why would we not at least say there'll be an investigation and the coroner should let us know in a few weeks? Because in any other death, they always say it takes a few weeks. They even have state laws in many states that it's 2 weeks to a month, so that people can't just pass through murders and say nothing happened here. There's a reason we have medical examiners. There's a reason we have coroners. It's a reason they're independent in the county and the city level. They're watchdogs. They're absolutely important. And I demand that the media, the whore media that's dying because no one trusts you, to do your job and at least come out and say, hey, will foul play be investigated? Could there be someone that might want to sway the Supreme Court? We all know in mafia cases, even state courts have judges shot and killed. We just had a top state judge in Austin shot, and it's mafia connected a few months ago. They instantly said, mob connected. We have judges dying, in their sleep, and they have big investigations because they're sitting over key hearings and key rulings. This is the Supreme Court.